Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about zones of pollution in stream, so which comes under water treatment title. So my name is Dinesh Kumar, working as an assistant professor in Department of Chemical Engineering in Hindustan College of Engineering Technology. So I have given my mail ID. Here we go with the topic. So whenever wastewater is being treated, the remaining contents of the wastewater which cannot be treated, which could not be treated, will be discharged into the streams. So the continuous streams, it will be discharged over a period of time. So there will be specific time with respect to that. So for that there will be four zones which automatically those waste contents from the water treatment plants will be treated naturally. Okay, so those four zones only that we are going to see right now. That is a zone of degradation. Okay, so zone of degradation, zone of active decomposition, zone of recovery, and zone of clear water, which will be in the next slide. Okay, so the zone of degradation, zone of active decomposition, zone of recovery, and the zone of clear water. So in the first one, zone of degradation, that is this zone is just a particular length from where we are discharging the wastewater from the in the river stream. Okay, so the formation of sludge deposits at the bottom. So whatever the wastewater that is being, whatever the contents that is being released into the water stream, there will be some solids, because in the water treatment side there will be a huge amount of solids will be there at the last. So those solids will also be discharged into the river stream only. So those solids as a sludge deposits will be deposited at the bottom, and the dissolved oxygen will be reduced about 40% of the saturated value. So it, what will happen further is it will increase the carbon dioxide content. So due to the increase in carbon dioxide content, so the reoxygenation process that already happens in the river stream will take place very much slower. Okay, so because dissolved oxygen is being reduced to 40%. So it is here. It is a fun fact that is what that is. We know that oxygen is the major important for human being to be alive in this earth. But uh, we know Amazon forest is the major contributor of oxygen. But actually, Amazon is not the major contributor for the oxygen producer. Actually, it is oceans, water. Water is the major oxygen producer to the world. So Amazon is just around 30 to 40% only it contributes for the oxygen production. So in the similar way, dissolved oxygen in the water stream is being reduced to 40%. So the reoxygenation takes place much slower. Okay, because carbon dioxide is being increased in the river stream. So increase in carbon dioxide content. So these conditions favorable development of aquatic life and such as algae dies, unfavorable conditions for the aquatic life. So algae dies and fish life may be also be affected. So these are all the important problems that happens in the zone of degradation. But when it comes to the zone of decomposition, so in the zone of decomposition, so what we have seen is the zone of degradation will be reduced much. The impact happened in the zone of degradation will be much less compared in the zone of active decomposition, because in the zone of decomposition the process takes place. The process takes place to reduce the pollution in this stream. Okay, but actually this zone is the heavy polluted stream, heavy polluted zone. So this zone will be in the grayish and darker than previous zone. So dissolved oxygen concentrations will be zero, but anaerobic conditions, that is absence of oxygen, will be in there, so that the gases such as methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide will be present in this zone. So the dissolved oxygen again, which will be tries to the level, that is 40, which will tries to increase its level from 0 to some 40%, like that. It will be tries to improve. So it is a natural process. Whatever happens, the natural tries to take place its own course to attain its equilibrium. So in this zone, bacteria will flourish, and it will helps to reduce the problem uh, that happens due to the deposits of sludge. So what deposits of sludge is the main problem. So the bacteria presence in this zone will try to rectify those problems. And aerobic bacteria, anaerobic bacteria, protozoa, fungi, everything will disappear. Protozoa and fungi will disappear, and to replace that, bacteria will come there, and bacteria will take place its own course to uh, solve the problems of sludge deposits. Okay, but in this area there will be no aquatic life. There will be no fish life, no algae, no protozoa, any other aquatic organisms will be available. Only bacteria, foul smell we will feel in this zone. So this is the zone of active decomposition. So this zone will only helps on the zone of recovery. So this is the major zone takes place. Okay. So here we go for the zone of recovery. So in this zone, the river stream rises to recover from its degraded conditions to its former appearance. So it will be degraded conditions to its former appearance in this zone. So dissolved oxygen content rises to 40% of the saturation value, and while fungi decreases, BOD also falls down. So protozoa, protists, and other aquatic organisms will take place in this zone. So this is the zone of recovery, and the zone of clear water. So in this zone, it will be a clear water. It will be used for domestic purposes, like for cleaning houses, like that. It can be used in the zone of clear water. So the river attain its original conditions. So this is the typical block diagram. So where the zone of clear water, this is actually the zero zone. Okay, zone zero. So this is a zone one. This is where the sludge will be deposited. So floating solids, bottom sludge, color turbidity, everything will happens here. So when it comes to the zone of decomposition, it will be the grayish and darkish color, and there will be also some gases will be available there, which is harmful for human being and any other aquatic organisms that is being present in this zone of active decomposition. Even in the zone of degradation, you can see some active organisms, but aquatic organisms, but it can't thrive. But when it comes to the zone of active decomposition, it even can't alive in this zone. Aquatic organisms, it will be totally absent in this zone. But when it comes to the zone of recovery, everything will start to flourish. Okay, so there will be some turbidity due to the sludge, but aquatic organisms will thrive in this zone. Okay, and the zone of clear water. So this zone of clear water and the zone 0 and zone 0 and the zone of clear water, zone 5, zone 4. So these zones will actually can be useful for domestic purposes. So that is the purpose, that is the actual thing that is happening in here. So this is the clear representation of what we have already mentioned in the previous slide, the zones of pollution stream. So first one is a clean zone, and here it is a degradation zone. It is being mentioned as a decomposition zone, and here it is a septic zone. It is actually a zone of degradation, and it will be a recovery zone, and last it will be again clean zone. So in this picture, you can clearly see how the aquatic organisms is being how the aquatic organisms can be clearly mentioned in here. So we can also see the point of discharge, point of waste is being discharged in the bottom. So where it is being discharged. So in the next slide, here is the different physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of different zones. Okay, so that is zone of degradation, zone of active decomposition, zone of recovery, zone of clear water. Everything is being mentioned, and with respect to that, physical and chemical characteristics, biological characteristics also being mentioned, and it is being already discussed in our during first and second slide itself. We have been discussed. Okay, these physical, chemical, and biological characters we have already discussed. So if you have any doubts, or if you want to, if you needed this PPT for your future references, you can contact me in the mail ID that I have been added. Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you for listening to the last. So here we go. Thank you. Bye bye.